Okay, so in this video now we're going to talk about brushes. So we have so many brushes right here, and as I mentioned earlier in our interface video, we can just expand them like that. You can see what is each one. You can just scroll this down and see all the brushes. If you want to see the name of them, or also you can just get them like that as well, so you have all the brushes in your own screen. So pretty much for Blender, or even for sculpting in Zbrush as well, you normally you're not gonna use more than 5 brushes. So I'm just gonna go with the brushes that I will use the most, so you guys can follow these techniques, and in all honestly, like you don't need more than that. So first we have this brush, that this is like the draw brush. So this draw brush, it kind of like builds some of that kind of like geometry on it, like that. It's very underrated brush because people don't use it as much, but it's really good. Like for example, if you want to add, let's say you want to add some kind of like kind of like the top shape of the lips, for example. So it helps a lot, like in that instance. Then we have the crease brush, or what is the name of this one? Let's see, Draw Sharp. Draw Sharp brush that is the same as Damn Standard if you're coming from Zbrush, which gives you a really nice like creases. So you can use this one a lot for kind of like getting some wrinkles, getting some details. So if you press Control, you get like the other way. So you carve, you add with Control, carve like that, add with Control. So this brush is super good just for that reason. You can like for example, you want to do the mouth, for example. So you can define that area of the mouth, and then you can use the draw and have kind of like your mouth like that. Just for as an example. It's not that I do mouths like that, but this is a really good brush to utilize as well. Okay. Then we have the clay buildup, and the clay buildup is a nice brush as well. It just builds. It's kind of like the same as the draw, but this one is kind of like a make better chunks. And look, it kind of like gives a nice texture. It's kind of like you're building and building and building and building and building and building. So it's really nice one. It's a totally different, but it has like a more texture to it than the draw brush. Then other one that we have is the this is the quad stripes, I guess, clay stripes. So clay stripes have like a harder texture. Look, it's more like a kind of like a square alpha that has in the brush. So this, for example, if you're making kind of like a muscles or things like that, let's say like you're making say that this is our the muscle from the neck. If you go like this, you're gonna get like a really nice texture. You can just a little bit smooth, but yeah, this one gives you like really nice textures for sure. Okay, then we have another brush that is the inflate brush. I use it a lot, and this one, it just depends in some options that you can just inflate. Let's see here, inflate some pieces. If you want to inflate some, let's say you're working on a character and it's lacking a little bit of the cheeks, so you can just inflate this like that. There you go. You can change the strength here as well, so you can just change the strength of that inflate, and that's gonna pop out way more. Like the default strength of the inflate doesn't have as much. So that's a useful brush as well that you can have as well. And my other one is this one. This one's the one that I use scrapped a lot when I'm working on a stylized character. So it gives kind of like a really nice, it flattens the surface. So you see, like it doesn't give you a smooth, but it flattens the surface here. So you can have this, and then you can have a brush like like a draw sharp. And look, let me see, let's change this, press Ctrl, and you can just draw a sharp here, and smooth this out, and then flatten this up. It's very useful a lot when you're doing kind of like a stylized character, so you get like a really those flat surface. So those pretty much are my main brushes that I use. Also we have the move one, or the graph, they call it here, elastic deform, snake hook, and grab. So those ones, the graph, when you're blocking out your character, you can use the graph and move it and kind of like work on proportions. You have, this is the graph. So it's kind of like these two are almost similar. I like the elastic graph because it gives you like a better control, kind of like a moves everything together. This one doesn't move everything together, just a little bit. Kind of like the fall off is a little bit less, and this one is more. And the snake hook is super cool, but in this one you will need something like Dino Topo that you can just add some, you know, when you're doing kind of like a hook snakes kind of thing, which is super cool. This is super cool to use when you're using kind of like, or doing some you know, roots or things like that. But you have to make sure you have Dino Topo on, because if you don't have it on, that's not gonna work. Look, you see, because it's not feeling any geometry in there. So make sure that before you use the snake hook, you're using with Dino Topo. That doesn't work right there. Make it bigger, and look. So that's a really cool brush to use. And then we have the mask. We have the masks here. We can mask. And my blender just crashed here. So I was going with the mask. So I'm gonna go with the side view, and I'm gonna mask right here, right there. If I want to start blocking out the character, I'm gonna use my elastic. Make sure that your symmetry is on, and you just move it down here, up there. You just want to start like, you know, let's use this move one here. You want kind of like to start like blocking out like the shape of the head of your characters right there. So you can just use mask for that. If you want to release the mask, you just press Alt M, and you will release the mask. You can smooth it out, and you have like a nice-ish, you know, head shape. Obviously you have to work on that way more. In future videos I'm gonna show you how to get those like a nice proportions for a head, kind of like head proportions, which is gonna be a nice video for you guys to learn how to sculpt heads. And in this mask we have different options. We have mask lasso, so we can just mask like a lasso. We can also invert the mask. You can see the options here. If you want to invert the mask, you can just Control I, and look, you invert the mask, and you can just work from here, do some more stuff, and like that, you know. You can, let's Control I, invert that, use the Dino Topo, and move it, and look, do some things like nice there. There you go. So yeah, so those ones are the ones that I use the most. So in conclusion, I have like the draw sharp, the clay build, the clay stripes. I use it a lot. Inflate once in a while. The scrape, I use it and all the move. Mostly the graph, the elastic deform, and the snake hook, and the mask for sure. Those ones are my main brushes that I use all the time. So let's, you know, get that circle or that sphere. You can go file again, file, new, sculpting, on save, and if you want to start trying out these brushes and kind of like have a really nice feeling of how they behave in these cases, and that will be like a good practice for you guys. So thank you so much guys for watching, and I appreciate. Also, I forgot to tell you, press Shift, you smooth out. Okay, so if you enjoy this video, you think that I bring in value to you guys, just make sure that you comment, like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Take care and have an amazing weekend or rest of the week. Take care, bye.